Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Super glad to talk about sustainability in dentistry. Like your office, Artisan Dental in Madison, Wisconsin. I can't believe the great things that you guys do there, and I want to showcase that because moving into sustainable way or recycling way in practice, it is wonderful, and it needs to be, I think, a standard of care. I,
Totally.
I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
that that sustainability is the future of dentistry. Like it has to be, because we have so much medical waste. I'm reading here. I have it changes every so often on different sources when I look at research
Yeah.
things. So hospitals produce more than 5 million tons of waste each year.
That's crazy.
Hospitals generate over 29 pounds of waste per bed per day. That's a lot,
It's a lot.
Yeah. And we produce the world in general produces over nearly 300 million tons of plastic a year.
That's a lot.
So yeah, it's crazy. 60 million bottles, plastic bottles, and it changes. So it's like
Yeah.
I go through these sources and I look like, what is the numbers here and there and there, and
Right.
I mean it's crazy to me. We're just got so much plastic. So
Yes.
I'm super glad you're a registered dental hygienist.
Yep. Yep.
Myself.
Yep.
So it's awesome. So tell me a little about what you do at your practice and
Yeah, for sure. So Artisan Dental, since its inception in 2014, we've always had the framework and the mission and the vision to be sustainable and to set standards in place for those green initiatives. Our co-owners, Scott and Nikki Anderson, have kind of implemented things, and they're super open to hearing suggestions and recommendations, and the amount of work that they do that goes into all of it is just amazing. But we as a practice try to look for different sustainability options, not just within our office, but in our community too. So Artisan is part of the B Corp organization. So with the B Corp, we renew our B Corp and kind of reassess where we're at as a company every couple of years. And through that report, the B report and the impact statement, that kind of shows us where we're at and ways that we can improve, not only for our office, but the community, for our vendors, for our employees. So we're always looking at that and ways to better that too. In our office, we have implemented the tips from you guys, which has been great. We were using just different options before and getting rid of those. However, go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of people, like, I'm doing this Wellness Wednesday, and and so I'm the owner of the A-flexX system, which, like, some people don't know that. So then so when you say the HVE tips, those are the autoclavable tips.
Yep.
And we special designed some for you, which was awesome.
Yep. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, and that's a very big initiative to stop throwing away those HVE tips. I mean,
yes, yeah,
there's a lot that go into waste. 400.
There's a lot.
18 million.
Before we switched to your tips, we were using, we have a single-use recycling that we have a bin where, like, Invisalign or clear aligner trays can go in. The slow speed suctions, our Profi angles, Isolite, those kind of things would go into that bin. And then we send that out to be sourcefully, like, broken down, recycled into other things as well. And we were switching that out about every 2 weeks and sending it in. When we first started, it was on a month-to-month basis, but now we're getting into 2 weeks. So hopefully with implementing the A-flexX,
the HVE tips,
HVE tips, yep, we'll maybe go back to not having to send that as frequently. So we're excited to kind of see that change.
Yeah. That's so awesome. It's very exciting for me, because that's really what I want to do. I really want to have impact in our industry, and if we could just do that. And so that's one thing you guys do. I love that you did that already with recycling and doing doing all that and sending it to a company, and hopefully they're recycling and getting rid of the plastic in a smart way. So I also know that Rochelle, part of your leadership, this was so great for me too, to know that she won the Green Initiative from ADOM, but I think it was sponsored by Henry Schein as well.
I think so.
So what does that look like, and how does she win that? Like, what was that?
So Rochelle is in our office kind of as a fun way to kind of keep the team involved. We have the green team. So it's a volunteer group of our team members that look at different ways that our office for our community can be sustainable and green. So through that, Rochelle's found different people to work with and things like that, where she's been able to spotlight us, similar to what we're doing, to spread what we know to be true with sustainability and things like that. So Rochelle and then some of our other leadership team and green team will work with offices that might call and like, hey, what are you guys doing for this? How do you recycle this? The green team and Artisan also works with TerraCycle. So as being part of our patients and part of the community, people can bring in some of those toothbrushes, paste, deodorant, different things like that. And we will recycle that and help them recycle that through TerraCycle if it's not curbside recyclable. So that's one of the things too that we've worked with to kind of decrease the amount of waste in the community.
Okay, so that leads me to a very a great question, because every dental office in the world always wants more patients, right? They want more patients, so because dentistry is a business. We all in dentistry, we do know that. So how does that affect your business? I mean, just tell me how that affects your business.
No, for sure. So since Artisan has been in practice, we've never had to do any marketing. It's always been through our outside sourcing, kind of these programs that we've been implementing. But all of our patients, I would say, being a hygienist, at least 3 of my patients a day will bring in something to recycle. And then it was so strange. One time we had people like mail us their stuff and like want us to recycle it because they've heard about it like through a friend or different things like that. So it's really cool to see that change throughout our community and them spreading it to their friends and family too.
Wow. That's powerful. I think it gives me goosebumps. Like I mean, it just makes me so excited that you guys.
Yes. And it's great too with that recycling program. Everything that we donate, we get, it's like a point system. So we're able to convert that into a donation. So we can pick a charitable place to send that. I think in the past we've done like Feeding America. Sometimes the recycled materials have been broken down to a different variety of like products too, like cutting boards, trash cans, like little bath caddies and things like that. So it's fun. It's cool to see.
That's so awesome. You guys taking it a step, above and beyond, and then you get your community involved, and you're just showing that overall you're caring at the chair, you're caring about the earth, and doing our part. And that's, and because we have so much single-use plastics in dentistry, I mean, just to make one small shift,
it is about the small shifts. We, in like our team member bathrooms, instead of having like paper towels, we have like wash rags. And we do like a lot of like paper reduction things. So instead of printing out route slips or printing out insurances, we always ask for it to be sent electronically. So then it just cuts down on the paper too, because we have the computer, why not utilize it? Great.
That's I mean, exactly. I was, there was a bunch of things that, talking about sustainability and making a sustainability plan for a dental practice. One of the things is, the break room, like we don't need plastic forks. We can wash we can wash, it just saves the practice money in the long run.
Sure.
You're not big on being green just because you think it's silly, but if you want to think of it as dollars and cents, if you're a dollars and cents person, that saves money.
For sure.
And it's not a big deal to do, like wash your dish, And then of course there's, laundry. I mean, do you guys do your own laundry?
We do our own laundry here. We try and look for like environmentally safe laundry detergents. So I think we have an account set up through like Grove. And then we do the wool dryer balls. So we have those, and we have all of like the Energy Star efficient appliances throughout the office. So it's great. Yeah. And we were I believe the first office, who's became carbon neutral. So through the carbon neutrality, we were able to offset our carbon emissions or greenhouse gas emissions and things like that by purchasing with carbon credits through Green Trees. It's a reforestation program, I think in the Mississippi Valley, where they plant trees and grow forests to help with that carbon offset as well.
Wow. Look at you. That's so great. I mean, maybe not every practice has to be as diligent, but I mean, just some small shifts,
Yeah.
I know that bamboo toothbrushes are, they're a thing, and they're, that's good. I mean, especially if you're a practice that likes to give toothbrushes away before, they come to get their teeth cleaned, which is very common, right? I want to brush my teeth before I get them clean, which is and then you have these plastic toothbrushes with the paste already on them. Horrible. Like they're just throw away. Again, you got all this money going into, into these disposable items that sure, maybe the patient doesn't want to maybe they'll throw away their bamboo, but at least it's breaking down and, it's still not ideal, but
it's better than the alternative.
That's right. I mean, it's better than the alternative. So yeah, I think that's important. So what about your sterilization? Like do you fog your rooms? Like what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah. So we do, in our rooms, we do the wipes. So we wipe the rooms thoroughly, obviously, with all of that. In the lab specifically, we use the Enviro pouches for our bagging system. So that kind of helps a little bit through there too, not getting rid of so many bags and things like that through the process.
Yeah, I talked to the owner of Enviro Pouch a couple weeks ago. Super neat people. And their mission really wasn't like green at first. Their mission was safety, because they when you have those bags, they puncture and you can even when you're sterile, like you could, we've all been, come on, in dentistry, that's happened to me
so much.
And so now you have got, it's sterile instrument, but you've been jabbed by it.
Right.
And, now I got to re-sterilize it, which is great. You got to do that.
Right. For sure.
Which then you need another bag. But the Enviro Pouch people, they were like really conscious about safety, and they didn't want that to puncture people.
Yeah, no, they're great. We love them, and they've lasted. I think we implemented them kind of like in 2020, early 2020, and they've been phenomenal. So kudos to them.
I know, right? They're awesome. So I'm so grateful that you guys are doing this. I think that, I'm going to pick your brain more and in the future, and definitely we're developing more sustainable products, and obviously we'll send them to you guys. And
that would be great. We always are loving to try it
for the testing of what we got. Cause my brain is just like, I can make this, I can do this, and just make a shift. So thank you for using the eco tips. I would love for you to, a lot of people I talk to with, about the eco tips, they're a little scared, like, ew, because we're so used to thinking that water goes in and blood and it gets sucked in and it's going to stay in there and but it's the same as our instruments. We're sterilizing them.
Yes. Yep.
So for if your sterilizer doesn't work, then that's the problem, right?
That's the problem. Yep.
You're doing your spore testing. It's supposed to kill everything. So and you're pipe clean them through.
Yeah.
So tell me about your experience, because you're using them for a while now.
For sure. Yeah. So, I sent something that we were using over to your team. We had the HVE with like a bend and holes in it, specifically for our hygiene team. Because some of the traditional ones that didn't have any holes, that's a little aggressive in hygiene. Sure. So your team was able to implement that. We have hygienists who weren't using the HVAC before and using other irrigation systems, now switching to it because they're finding that it's super light, easy to use. And then we just, like you said, sterilize it. It goes in every single one of our hygiene kits. And then we run that through. And they've been great. We really have enjoyed them. Patients haven't really noticed a difference. If anything, I think it's more comfortable for patients because we're not yanking on their cheek so much with a small little suction or too aggressive with a high powered HVAC one. The assistant team has really enjoyed them as well. They have a little bit different priority, obviously, than hygiene does. So we have a left-handed dentist. So sometimes the curve of the ones that you guys had made for us is a little bit easier to use since he's left-handed and they can see in different spots where maybe they don't need to with a right-handed dentist. But yeah, it's been really great. We definitely have enjoyed them and look forward to keeping them in the practice for a while to come. I
know, because I mean, you won't have to buy HVE tips. And and it's amazing how much money over time you're going to save.
Yes, for sure. It's nice to have like the storage again. Like I feel like we would have so many like just in back stock and things like that, or even the space in the drawers. So it's nice to just like, hey, we could put something else in here that we might not have thought of before. So even that's been a great thing, not to have to get up and walk around for something.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I'm excited, and thank you for doing what you guys are doing, making an impact in dentistry. And there's things we can do at home, but we're not even going to get into that. But let's tackle one thing at a time. Let's just make one switch. Oh, I also wanted to ask you, do you guys use metal air water syringes or?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have the metal ones. We have spares just in case something happens where they're the plastic ones, but those can go into our single use thing. So, but yeah, metal all the time.
And then your XTP rings are autoclavable, old school. I mean, you probably got the digital style, but because they make ones that you just stick or throw away. I'm like,
yes, right. I know it is. So we have the autoclavable one. So that's awesome. It's just little tweaks that you're like, oh, I wouldn't even have thought of that. So it's great. It's really great.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsay.
Yes, thank you.
I'm grateful for you and your team and your practice and helping other people in the community as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.